president of the Salina League of Women Voters, and I'm excited today to welcome Linsey Webb to talk about punching out Parkinson's, because until December I never knew this existed, and I never dreamed that I would need to know about this when we got my husband's diagnosis. So it is kind of my passion right now to get the word out, because so many people, I talk about it and they look at me like I have two heads. They don't have a clue about this. So I'm excited to welcome Linsey to tell us all about Central Kansas Parkinson, punching out Parkinson's of Central Kansas,
Yes.
and rock steady boxing. So I'm going to let you tell a little bit about yourself and about our organization.
So my name is Linsey Webb. I actually taught for 19 years, kindergarten to second grade, and a community liaison saw how I interacted with my grandmother who was living at Presbyterian Manor. I was going up there, being the caregiver, helping, supporting, because all of her sons lived out of state. So how can I help? And so I was just constantly with her, and she's like, Linsey, I feel like you would be great as being a community liaison for the senior population in long-term care. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm used to talking to little tiny kiddos, and I never thought I would be teaching. And had a long, hard talk with my husband and my kids, and I was like, you know what, let's just try it. Always go back to teaching. It'll be 7 years in May that I left teaching, and I went with, started in long-term care and worked with 6 different nursing homes and educating and bringing families that needed a skilled homestay or long-term care, and just did a lot of education. Then I got the opportunity to come to long-term care. I do the same thing, not long-term care, sorry, home health. Do the exact same thing, working with providers, families. How can we keep them safe at home longer? If it's post-hospitalization, post-skilled nursing stay, or someone just needs more help. They're having weakness, they're having falls, they're post-surgery and just need us. So that's what we do. We educate on the insurance, the care we provide, and ultimately the goal is keeping them safe. We know that a lot of individuals want to stay home. That's where they feel comfortable, and that's where they want to be. When I was working in the long-term care side, I got asked to join Punching Out Parkinson's and being part of the board. Our board is filled with different ladies in our community that work in long-term care, hospice, home health. We also have Callie, who's our board president, who works on she works for Salina Orthopedic. So, and what we do is we educate and we fundraise. It's a nonprofit organization, Punching Out Parkinson's, nonprofit organization that comes together Monday, Wednesday, Friday over the noon hour, and then also Wednesday evening for the families who can't get there during the week. Our Wednesday class is a little bit more advanced too. And to be a part of the class, you have to have the diagnosis. And to have that diagnosis is from the doctor. And then we have to make sure it's safe for you to participate in that class. There's an evaluation, there's a process to it. And then what we do, we get certified boxers to join us, and those certified boxers teach that class. And it is a true inspiration to our being in there. It is, that piece there is, oh, no, that wasn't it. I thought she emailed me with the part. And it is a true, everybody is at different levels. We have from individuals who can barely walk, they're using a walker, to come in there and you would look at them and say, you have Parkinson's? Like, I didn't know that. And just seeing their success and watching them battle, watching them fight the fight. Nobody knows really what that fight is until your loved one is going through that or you've been diagnosed for that. So that's a great thing about the Punching Out Parkinson's. You can get diagnosed from your primary care physician. We take that. As we know, our neuro doctors here in town, Doug Davis and Trent Davis, and there's a wait list. I mean, it's almost sometimes anywhere from 4 to 6 months to get in. So your provider can get you started in that process. Then we can get you started in the boxing class to help reduce some of the side effects. Our boxing class will not cure it. We know it's a lifetime diagnosis, but what we're here to do is help you, guide you, and support you. And that's what that boxing class is. We have boxers that talk about a medication they're on. They talk about the struggles they have. They talk about their success stories. And hearing those success stories is, I think, what drives our core team to make sure that we can continue to do this boxing class. And with it being a nonprofit, we have to fundraise. So in the month of April, we have actually quite a bit of fundraisings coming up. And then I'm gonna have you share those on your Facebook page. I'll give you all those dates.
Okay.
The first one in April is the Cinco de Mayo taco event that we have at La Curva. So you go and you eat there, let them know that you're here to support Punching Out Parkinson's, and a percent of those sales are gonna come back to our club on Cinco de Mayo Day. Then we have a coffee event with scooters. So if you can drive through scooters in the morning from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and our core group's gonna be there supporting, encouraging people to let them know that this is for Punching Out Parkinson's. Evolve, which does these yummy teas and protein drinks, she's doing an event on National Parkinson's Day, and that's on April 11th, so a portion of those teas. Then we're also going to do, on April 26th is our Giving Tuesday at Applebee's. So you get to go to Applebee's, have your lunch there, let them know that the proceeds to go back to Punching Out Parkinson's. So we take all of those funds, we have to pay for our rent, pay for our the insurance, we have to pay for all of our instructors too. Since we have certified, like Pete, a physical therapist, we have certified instructors, we pay them to be able to teach our class appropriately. So that's one thing that we're super excited about with being able to raise those funds. Once you're in the class, we do an evaluation on you, and that is done with Callie to see what your weaknesses are, your strengths, and then what your goals are. Then we recommend you come and observe a class so you can see what it's all about. And like I said, you'll be blown away too by seeing all the different levels that are in there. Your spouse is allowed to come too, or your caregiver. We do have caregivers and we do have spouses that come and help and support. As this disease progresses, we have to make sure that you're safe in that class. And then, they may guide them, they may walk behind them, they may participate in the boxing classes. Yeah, she does the boxing classes with us. So being able to have that piece helps a lot for the safety of our boxers.
I can just say that this class is amazing. When we walked in and I saw the different people, like she said, some of them I thought, why are they here? Because you just don't know, but they're a community. It's like at the end when they do the voice thing, we cheer for each other, we get them, they clap for the person, doing it. It's just, some of them have been there for several years and they've just kind of become family. It's just, it's something great for something you didn't know you needed.
So there's a physical and like an emotional or mental component to it as well? Community?
Yes, it really is. And it's just not, like I said, the boxing. It's as you're boxing and someone sees that you're doing a great job, it's the high fives. We yell and support, we encourage. Because you can tell, like our Mondays are probably our most challenging days because they have class on Friday, then you have Saturday and Sunday, then comes Monday, and so we're pretty weak over the weekends. Our bodies are tired, so getting them to get back up into that pace again. Sometimes our steps just aren't there, or they'll let us know like Monday was super tough and by Wednesday and Friday they're doing great. And we also give them exercises to do at home because you also have to continue those on your off days. Think about if you've ever had your knee replaced or a shoulder replaced or a surgery, you have to do those little exercises also on your own. Okay, so Punching Out Parkinson's, like I said, it is a nonprofit organization. It's a 501c3, so we have to constantly be working with our financial advisor to work with that process. It's a gym at Resident 600, and some of the Salina's toughest fighters train there several times a week, but they do not fight each other. They fight the single enemy, and that enemy is the Parkinson's disease. Punching Out Parkinson's of Central Kansas gives people with Parkinson's disease the hope by improving their quality of life and non-contact boxing based on fitness curriculum. Non-contact boxing is a program that we use to fight the Parkinsons while caring for each other and what brings us together. So our mission at Punching Out Parkinson's is a collaboration with the Rock Steady Boxing program. Our mission is to twofold: to support individuals fighting Parkinson's disease and to provide essential assistance to their caregivers. So here's part of our board. We have Callie, who is our board president. Callie is very passionate about this program as it has personally affected her parents. Nikki Welch, she is a community liaison for Jim Tebow Hospice. Then we have Amanda Randolph, and she is also sales and marketing up at Presbyterian Manor. Myself, Lindsay, and I'm with Accessible Home Care. Angela Fairbanks Jansen, she is a community member in the marketing field, and we also have Dr. Krista DeWitt. She practices now in Minneapolis. She was previously from Salina. Some of our boxing coaches: Amanda, Callie, Dania, Brittany. Brittany currently is on maternity leave. She just had a little one, so. And then we have Andrew. He does our Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. He does a fantastic job. He knows truly how to motivate and to guide you and support you. And then we have Carol Rubino. She is a lifestyle wellness coach. She works with the mental health coach, but also does yoga. Yoga is important for the stretching, but guide you in such a positive, caring way. We are affiliated with the Rock Steady Central Kansas Boxing. It's a one-of-a-kind Indianapolis-based nonprofit gym that was founded in 2006 to provide a unique, effective form of physical exercise to people who are living with Parkinson's. So Rock Steady Boxing guides us. We don't just create our own exercise and our own training. We are getting the information from an actual specialist that brings it to us and guides us with appropriate boxing skills and mechanics to help guide us to build success in everybody. So, can anyone participate? Nearly anyone with the Parkinson's disease can participate and receive benefits from Rock Steady Boxing. So, like I stated before, you have to have that Parkinson's diagnosis. The evaluation is conducted prior to the first class to determine the recommendation of this class. Some participants will require a caregiver to partner with each session, a physical exam to participate. And that's mainly for safety. That's our big thing, and that's one of the Rock Steady's guidelines. Services offered: we're a small group, the class that fights together. We have 4 levels of classes. Yoga and breathing. This class is for the fighters and the caregivers. The Punching Out Support Education Group. We do, at the end of every month, the last Friday of the month, we do a Parkinson's education. And the reason we do that is because there's constantly new things happening with Parkinson's. New medication, new trials, new things to try. And if we can educate our community, that means we're helping our fighters. And then we fight together, we sport together, and we also have tough love. So the evaluation fee is $50 to get started. And that gives you your gear, your boxing gloves, everything that you need. And then we have a monthly fee of $25. And here's the thing. We never want the price to keep someone away. If they financially can't afford that, talk to us. That is why we get scholarships. That's why we go out and fundraise. That's why we get our corporate sponsors each month. We don't want to say no to anybody. So any way we can help a boxer, that is our ultimate goal. Our class schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 12 to 1. This is our biggest group that we have. Then we have Wednesday evenings from 5:15 to 6:15. Yoga, we were doing yogas on the second and fourth Monday, and we did change that. We now are doing that one time a month. Our boxers loved the yoga, but they really loved the boxing piece. So we brought back that boxing for an additional day. So our curriculum is divided into 4 main sections. We have a warm-up section, we have a workout section, a core section, and a cool down. So that's what our whole thing is. When the boxers come in and they're bicycling for like 15 minutes to really get moving. And the key reason for that is some of our boxers walk in, and especially on a Monday, it's tough for them to be moving. So if we can get that circulation, that movement, it's going to be safer. We have 10 to 12 recumbent bikes for all of our boxers to work on as they come in. And then at the end we do core. Some people do core sitting in their chair. Some people do core and they're able to lay down. So we make adjustments based on their needs. We do the stretching, the deep breathing, ball exercises. The one thing that I have learned so much about is the voice activation piece. An individual that is diagnosed with Parkinson's, as they progress, their voice gets softer and softer. It gets weaker. So we do a lot of things to get them loud. They might be doing yelling days of the week. Well, that's going to be helping our memory. Then we're yelling it to work on our voice. As we're boxing, one of the ones that they love to say is bar fight. So they're doing 1, 2, 1, 1, bar fight, 1, 2, 1, 1, bar. And they're yelling, so they're getting loud to work on that because we don't want them to lose that voice with that diagnosis. Body and mind warm up. We're doing a walk. Some are able to do a light jog. We do jumping jacks. Sometimes we're doing seated jumping jacks. Sometimes we're doing standing. And we have the cardio machines. So what does the classroom look like? We have the big heavy bags that hang from the ceiling. So the big, huge heavy bags. We also have the little bags, those speed bags that people can go really fast on. I still struggle on the coordination piece of that. So some of our boxers do a really good job. We have the mitts, we have jump rope, ground and pound, shadow boxing. Our strength training, we have bands, so for different stretches. We also have hand weights from 1 pound all the way up to 10 pounds. So when our boxers go and pick up their hand weights, we have individuals that pick up the 1 pound. We have some that pick up the 10-pound weights. And then we have the medicine balls. We also have cowbell things for the lifting too that we use. We also use those for walking and balancing. So here's some of our pictures of our boxers that are boxing, doing a speed drill. The one to the far right, as you hit, it goes back and coming back right back at you. So reaction, keeping that balance. We encourage all of our boxers to make sure that they're looking up. As we age with them, some of our boxers will want to look down. That's just where that's where some of our falls can happen. So we're using cues: look up, look straight, look, and giving them a target to look at. Wide steps when we are walking. Our core workout. Work on that neck, the range of motion, it's huge because like I said, our boxers, as this progresses, we go down. And so getting them to really stretch those neck muscles, the anterior sit-up crunches, posterior, we do a lot of different workouts with that, rotational, and then we do planks and Superman. So we hit a whole wide range of different things. And then, like I said, a lot of our gym workouts, some of them can do, are there. Some might be on their knees. So we have all different levels, but the one thing that they do, like I said, their effort is truly amazing. So the why. Why do Punching Out Parkinsons? We're a family. We support each other, we guide each other. It's tough love. The boxers will recognize when someone's struggling before the coaches do. The boxers, because they've been there. They see that, they know that. They fight together and they're in the corner together of hope. And I mean, there's more whys behind it than anything, but these are the big things. The fight together is huge. They need somebody because they don't know, you don't know what it feels like to have Parkinson's unless, like I said, it's your loved one or you are personally going through that. So being able to connect in a way that an outsider looking in. So here are some of our boxers that we've had throughout the different years. What we do, we take a picture of them and we frame it, and we're putting a wall together, and it's going to have all of our boxers up there. And then we also do that with so additional boxers there that we have. Some are community members that are fighting that you may recognize also. Oh, look at our friend there.
She won't tell you that it took him 3 cameras to take that one.
Took us 3 times. So as you look at these pictures, you're able to see, you can truly see the different levels. But ultimately, another thing that you can see is their smiles. When they're there, they want to be there. They want to fight this fight. So we've had Halloween fun. Not only is it a class, we also want to hit the different special events that we get to celebrate together. Here's our yoga classes. We've had Valentine's. We've had education. Like I said, all of those bikes, that's what they start in. That's how they get warmed up on that piece. We have some people that start just by doing a light jog. We want to do it based on your level. So each boxing, we have people where they have to, step up on a box and then hit. Well, they might be like this. They might have to hold, step up, and then they box. They hold, they step down. Then we have other individuals where the loved one is guiding, helping, supporting. And then we have ones that are faster and going because they want to beat that next time that they've been there.
What's do-over?
Here's our, what was that? I'm sorry.
What's do-over? That previous one.
Let me go back to that one. That is one of our educations that we had about the Punching Out Parkinsons. Each, at the end of the month, we have a different education presentation. Here's some of our fundraising that we did. Last year we did Stand Up to Parkinsons, and we did sit to stands. I'll use an example of a sit to stand. And since it's on April 11th, we encouraged all of our Parkinsons to do 11. So sit, 1, and we would encourage them to yell. So I'm using my hands. Then we had people that were like this. 1, 2. Then we had individuals, like I said, the family was helping them. So that was one of our fundraising that they did. We also encouraged people to donate $11 on April 11th. We had a Venmo out, and you could donate $11 to that piece. So we're constantly finding different ways to fundraise. Because like I said, it is a nonprofit organization that we do. So here are our main sponsors that we have right now. Accessible, Salina Presbyterian Manor, Gentiva, Salina Ortho, OCCK, Janssen Marketing, Vibrant, and then Ottawa County Health Center. And then we are located at Resident 600. That's on Elm. Resident 600 is an independent living community. Beautiful. If you've never been to Resident 600, beautiful independent living community, and we're blessed to be able to use their basement. So as you're downsizing, Resident 600 is a place to look at as you're going from a bigger house to an apartment with, don't have to worry about yard work, snow removal, any of that. So we're blessed by the corporation there to allow us to rent out their basement for that. Like I said, we have a website and an email too. My suggestion, honestly, is if you know somebody is sharing what we have and then inviting them to a class and seeing it and listening to our boxers fight. That's the great thing about Punching Out Parkinson's. We've had a lot of new people in the last few months because our word is getting out. Our Facebook page, we share images, updates, facts that we can do to help support our boxers. So Dr. Doug Davis, Trent Davis, and them at Salina Neuro, they have our information. We've given information to all of the providers here in town. But this is just something extra to do if you have that diagnosis. I look at it, it's also a diagnosis to try to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. Because we don't know what that next step's going to be in the disease. So the trying of new things, the research that they're doing, we are trying so hard to keep them informed. So any questions? Yes.
How many people do you usually have?
So at our Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have anywhere from 10 to 12 boxers. Our Wednesday night, we have anywhere from like 8 to 10. The Wednesday night, I will tell you, it is more of an advanced. There are some boxers that class is just too hard for them. The Wednesday night, we will adjust if you can't make the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have boxers that come over their lunch hour. So we have a lot of young diagnoses. So they're coming in about 12, 10. They're not getting on the bikes, and they're going straight to the workout. And then they leave right at 1 and go right back to work. So we try to make it a class for anybody and everybody. Any other questions? Yes?
And how much of this is research-based?
So since we're using the Rock Steady boxing, we do everything that they bring to us. They tell us the boxing classes, the steps to use. So we don't just create anything off of our own. They give us the exact workouts to do. What we added was the stretching and the yoga piece to it, because they were adding an additional time to the classes, and a lot of our workers had to go back to work. So we do that yoga now just that second Monday of the month.
But where are they getting?
From the Rock Steady Boxing Organization.
No, where are they getting?
Oh, where's the Rock Steady? You know, I cannot answer that, but I know that organization is working with providers, doctors, and research to bring that back to us, because we have to pay to be affiliated to that. But that is a great question. I can get with Callie to get that information.
Yeah,
And
I
then I'll
mean,
have you-
I just think that would add to your presentation.
Okay.
Because I suspect that, you know, encouraging movement with Parkinson's is a really good thing.
Correct.
So, I mean, I think that's a really important piece.
I will have her, most definitely have her
Yeah.
add that piece to that, of where they get it, where their research is coming from. That's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's strong evidence that encouraging people with Parkinson's to move is a really good idea, so.
And that's why Callie wanted to be a part of an actual organization that brings those exercises to us, because we want to make sure that we're doing it correctly.
Right.
We want to make sure we're following the program, and we want to make sure that the big thing is having a safe place for our boxers, rather than just generating an exercise on our own. So that was the big thing with that affiliation piece.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. I'm just saying, I think.
No, that is great to
They
put that in
make your
there.
argument even stronger.
Yes, yes, for sure.
I'm trying to help you out here.
No, I appreciate that, no. I'm always learning, like I said, I'm that teacher piece, so I'm like feed, all that information there, so. Any other questions, or that you can think of? What's one thing that you have appreciated the most, I guess, about the class?
The camaraderie, the family orient that is involved, and just seeing how much it helps them. Because like I said, I had no idea. I mean, I knew about the fundraiser because of Nikki,
Correct.
but I had no idea that there was any of this because when he got the diagnosis, my first message was to Nikki.
Correct, and we went and met for coffee.
And the
So-
first thing they do is
yeah.
hand me this packet with Punching Out Parkinson's, and I'm like, okay.
So we met for coffee, and it was more of, let's explain to you, and let's see how we can help you. Help you, is it on the home health, with home health and therapies and nursing? Is it, do we need to look at hospice? Do we need to look at, here's another avenue, and that was the Punching Out Parkinson's piece. So we gave her a lot of information over a cup of coffee. We invited her to the class, and your husband, you guys watched, and next thing you know, they were signed up within a week. So even if it is over a cup of coffee, just to have that private conversation, because it's a heartfelt diagnosis that people aren't ready to share yet. And that's why I say, we have to try to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. And even if there's anyone here that doesn't have the diagnosis, just coming and watching, and then you can see it for your own eyes of being able to spread awareness too.
Yeah. And that's one thing I have done is, I take videos of him doing the different, like every couple weeks, and I post it on Facebook, and I share about this organization because we don't know how many people actually have the diagnosis that don't know this is available to them. And maybe I've got a friend in California that they know somebody, and it's nationwide.
It's nationwide, yep.
And because, like I said, I didn't know about it, and I think it's something people need to know about because it is a scary disease.
It's just a lot of the unknowns. That's the big thing with it. And it hits everybody differently. It's not the same. If I have Parkinson's, I'm reacting different. One medicine might work for me that is not successful for another. And that's where that support group comes together. I'm like, hey, my doctor put me on a new med. Have you guys heard of this? Oh, that's what I'm on. Oh, it didn't work for me. And so they're sharing ideas, which is fantastic. We have celebrations, Christmas parties. We try to do as much as we can. And then there is the sad part about it. We have had boxers that have passed away, and we go together and support them. And we're working on a memorial wall in our gym too. But our fight is getting through each day. So, sorry about the delay. Looks like she had her office in it. So,
I just want to thank Linsey for coming and for sharing this. Because like I said, it's something that is a passion for me now, this organization. And I just think everybody needs to know about it. And I just appreciate you all for coming and for those watching on our video when we get it posted.
And probably the next thing we have is our annual meeting
Yes.
speaker at 3:00 on.
Oh, yes, okay, our next meeting is, April the 5th at, Salina
It's Sunrise.
Sunrise Presbyterian
Church.
Church, yes. Too many things here. And it'll be our annual meeting and from 1 to 4, and our speaker will be Michelle Weiss with Saline County Emergency Management.
She starts at 3. You don't have to sit through our whole business.
Right, yes, she's coming at 3. And, our next Lunch and Learn will not be until September. So if you're watching this and there's something that you're passionate about, that you think the community knows, you can reach out to us, because we haven't set our topics yet. So thanks again, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
I did want to share, just off the note or whatnot, so I I'm also a part of the AMBUCS committee, and a lot of our boxers, we've also helped, we get with the morning AMBUCS group, and they do ramps. They build ramps for our, and then also like with Accessible, we have several patients that come home that need those ramps, and we're constantly reaching out to the morning bandits and like, can you help? And they are, I'm telling you, now that ramps they build in one day,
Oh, I know.
it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, the majority